Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some more of the Chinese region here at the TI6 Qualifiers. I'm iG.Pixel, I'm going to be joined by Blaze Casting for this one, and we've got cdec Gaming against ig.Vitality. Blaze, how you doing?
Doing really well, man. Got a nice little game out of Wings versus cdec in the previous one. No stomp there, and it does go to show the versatility in the region. The fact that Wings are bringing a lot in terms of dynamic drafting, whereas cdec, they go with a lot of comfort picks. And so we got to see a really good game there, and overall had a good time on the panel earlier too. So it's been a great day for some Dota 2. But going into this draft here, we do see that cdec going for their kind of classic opener or Spirit Darkseer. This is the kind of opener you saw from like Team Liquid about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Very high synergy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even getting the Disruptor in the first, it's the second phase. This is the most picked hero in almost every major tournament, and especially in China. In the open qualifiers, it was by far the most picked hero. So if I can see to get that grab in the second phase shows that they are going to be able to get pretty much every hero that they want. The question is, will it be enough to take on ig.V, who I would generally favor in this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the standings so far, so cdec, they're currently sitting at 1 for 3, isn't it, at the moment? Yeah, and ig.Vitality at the 1-1. Actually, who did ig.Vitality drop a game to? They dropped a game, actually, to the Big Brothers, by the looks of it,
yes.
IG. So, that in itself, understandable, because IG, top of the group, 3-0. So, the only team that ig.Vitality have dropped something to are the other head runners at the moment. So, yeah, bearing in mind in that, and considering the other game where they did take down... They took down cdec.youth, so arguably maybe another easier game for them as cdec.youth yet to win a game. So this matchup, this time round, do you feel though IG skill level against cdec's current roster, it still should favour the Vitality guys?
Yeah, I mean, cdec, not a matchup they want, but they got to stick up for little brother here, so they're gonna get try to get some vengeance for him. And no, I think ig.V definitely have this one in terms of general advantage. There are some really good, talented players that have been through the Chinese scene on the side of cdec, though. I mean, you got to think Super, ex-VG member, and Rabbit has been around the block in terms of carrying for multiple teams, including IG at one point. So, yeah, it's been interesting seeing their progression as a team, but right now, this game in general is going to be down to a couple of key factors, and the matchup that I'm most excited to see is going to be this mid lane matchup between cdec's Super as well as OP or Fran on that Death Prophet. Both playing a very similar playstyle, liking pretty much the exact same pool of heroes, and looking to control the game at about the same tempo. Some early push, some tanking up in terms of item progression. And if we actually look at Fran's stats on the TP, in the past month, he's actually played it 17 times and won 14 of those. So he's got over a 80% win rate on Death Prophet in the past month.
That's a lot of DP.
Yeah, he's looking to take that to another win here.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that in itself. And I guess against the DK as well, DP's just the hero versus hero matchup. It's, would you say, does it go one way or the other, or is it still pretty even? Both are going to be able to farm. Anyone that's in a bit of danger in that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, if you go for some good base damage items, even a Quelling Blade, maybe like DK can always get CS in the lane. Yeah. Maybe a Bottle Crow or two is required, and but generally speaking, I feel like he's going to be confident in getting some good CS for himself. DP shouldn't have too much trouble, though. Yeah, she's going to be trying to press him whenever he comes up on the wave, but DK will still do what DK does, survive and keep farming the creep wave. So I think overall it's going to be a bit of a wash unless the ganks come in, which generally speaking is going to be pretty common from the Earth Spirit more than anybody else.
It's gonna be, so these final picks now. I mean, up until this point, the opening 4 picks from both sides, it really feels there's nothing special. This is what we come to expect in this patch. And cdec finishing off with the Clinks here. I mean, that's a bit of an interesting one. Why do you feel this is a game where they felt Clinks kind of fits the bill? And I mean, Elder Titan. I mean, this hero wins games. Honestly, Elder Titan, Terrorblade, they are literally the heroes of the moment. And getting a 5th pick. I gotta say, I know you already said that ig.Vitality are the favourable side, but that for me, this is a good draft. I mean, Clink's going to be the hero that Rabbit's going to bring the game back round for cdec? Why the Clinks?
He's certainly going to try. I mean, the cool thing about Clinks is that when he gets the ultimate out on a big creep, like, he is able to actually build himself a really powerful spike in damage, and then he could just get very aggressive and start just laying into people. In terms of the off lane versus safe lane, Clinks, with the highest attack range of just about anybody, is going to be able to keep that Beastmaster back. You don't really get to double bore contest up against that off lane, even though Disruptor is pretty weak against it. Clink's is just so strong with long-range searing arrows. So I do think that Rabbit's going to get some pretty good farm here. Beastmaster's not going to get as much as he normally would in that off lane. But going back to that synergy, man, I mean, we've got ourselves negative armor through the Elder Titan's aura, as well as the Wave of Terror, all enhancing the damage that comes directly from the Slark and the DP. So I really do think it's going to be quite problematic for about everybody but the DK. DK's Dragon Blood, he gets to rely on that, at least until the Silver Edge comes out. But everybody else is going to be very squishy.
Alright, well here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, getting into the action of game... so it's going to game one. This, of course, is the one-game series, as we are still in the round-robin stages of the qualifiers. iG.Vitality up against cdec. And with the drafts complete, I mean, overall, obviously, you're talking about that fun a bit, but kind of the drafts overall, in your eyes, do you kind of favour what a certain team's going for here? Do you feel there's a clear draft winner, or both got, you know, something that they're setting out to do?
I mean, I definitely want to see what they can accomplish with the Clinks, but generally, I'm not really expecting too much from it. I mean, they've got the Darkseer, Disruptor, Earth Spirit, all of them really successful in terms of really area of effect control, and the DK can add to that when he gets the Blue Dragon form. But yeah, I really got to see what this Clink can accomplish before there's any shot that cdec will take it. For now, ig.V, they've got their bread and butter heroes. They've got Fran on his favorite. I'm going to say that I would definitely favor their draft.
Yeah, I mean, as you said in the draft, that ridiculous stat, 80% win rate on 17 games in the last month. Well, talking about the man himself, they're going to roll straight in onto him. And, I mean, Siphon, I don't think that's going to keep the man alive. He's going to try his best. Oh, it's a good stomp. It's a good stomp. Great play from Super, saving the Death Prophet's backside. And, yeah, Elder Titan, it wins you games.
Yeah, and it's certainly something that Super's very familiar with. Yeah. He really likes this kind of four-position strength here that can just kind of get involved. He used to play a lot of Undying when that was the meta, and now Elder Titan, really good at just being the saving grace in a tough spot. We're going to see Garter start bottom with Yao, and he's going to be most likely going for some double Ion Shell plays here to really get involved. This level 1 skirmish between these supports is going to be a really big deal. But in the meantime, DP, she lost enough HP that she's willing to back off the lane. In July, we'll take it for a short while here, and DP is going to go for the TP right up front.
Absolutely, yeah, just exchanging the lane back round. But that, as we see, has given Super, the early edge in terms of CS and bottom lane. You know, taking a bit of harassment here as Yao was coming through with the Iron Shells on him, guarding to back up us as well. And see how this mid lane matchup pans out. See how much pressure they can put on this bottom lane with this Darkseer combination.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the more aggressive dual lanes you can find, and it allows you to really exploit positioning. If anybody goes out for a pull or something a little bit too vulnerable, you can be right on top of them. But if Slark is willing to maybe miss a creep wave to get a little bit more damage on his opponents and try to get a kill, then I still think that the Darkseer and the Earth Spirit have to be a bit cautious here. Going to try to go for a side pull, and Dogfight's just going to completely zone that out.
I mean, I guess as well because of this pressure that the Earth Spirit and the Darkseer is going to be put on, is it unlikely that we see iG.Vitality look for kind of wraparounds towards the mid to try and help out the Death Prophet, or is this just going to be purely left as 1v1?
I think it's more on the onus of Garter to try to get involved in that matchup than the response for ig.V. Essentially, if there's no Earth Spirit ganking the DP, then there's no even need for the supports to kind of help them out. Right now, the matchup, like I said, is probably fairly even in terms of CS, but in terms of kill potential, if the Earth Spirit's not there, the Death Prophet's going to be perfectly fine.
And CS-wise in the mid lane, it's now even back up, even with obviously OP on the Death Prophet, missing out on the earlier wave due to having to deny himself and TP back to lane. The top lane as well. I mean, in this lane, this matchup that we've got going at the moment, because it is just a dual lane, the Beastmaster looks like he's getting a fair bit in July. Level 3, 2.5 minutes in, and
that's
has
Beastmaster jungle for you, man. The wars are so strong. He's actually, that's the first time he even poked his head into the lane. Yeah. That he's able to get so much just because the piercing damage component of the boar against the neutrals. In a really good spot himself, but doesn't really get to actually address the lane unless it's pushed out. That's the only time that he's going to even bother.
Yeah, I guess in that sense, then, if he is kind of in and out of the lane as a Beastmaster, this is great news for the Clinks. So Rabbit himself won't feel any kind of pressure in this laning stage. And I mean, I guess the point is though, once the Clink hits his 6 and maybe thinks about starting to roam, where do you look to put this Clinks across the map, or do you think we'll see a bit of a more static Clinks and just continue to farm up before he gets some of his core items?
That's a real question. Once you've got your level 6, you definitely have the potential to make like a surprise attack on mid, and that would give you an opportunity to farm up the Disruptor a bit too, which is always good. So I actually would love to see some rotation, but the question is where and when. I mean, level 6, level 7 is a great power spike, but it's also a bit predictable, right? You're going to have the Elder Titan sitting behind the DP, making sure she doesn't get caught out, and you kind of question where to go from there. So it very well could just be a static farming Clinks. It's really up to Rabbit and up to his, if he sees an opportunity.
I see top in July actually coming into cdec's jungle, and he's just going to start to go to jungle there. I think he realises because of the laning situation, 2-1-2, it's unlikely that cdec are going to put any pressure on him, so he can just jungle in their own one, and of course this is going to keep him much closer to the action rather than backing off into his own half of the map, and also maybe allowing him to set up some action mid. This Beastmaster, level 4, already looking to put some action onto the DK. They've got the Venge as well.
Yeah, double bore. One's going to despawn here, but they're going to try to go for a big play here. Spirit Siphon coming out. The Venge just needs one little missile, and they are actually going to be able to nuke him down. Any TP response would delay, it seems, the inevitable, as he's taken a lot of hits. Does barely get the wand, the bottle, in the distance, and that prop is actually the one too far forward. Gets dropped down.
This is a great turnaround from off the back of iG.V, looking to commit 3 heroes into that mid lane to find a kill. I mean, Injuly just gets himself away. But as you said, yeah, just great TP reactions from cdec. And iG.V, they kind of went all in, but I guess at the end of the day, it's a DK with 2 points in the Dragon's Blood, hitting the Breathe Fire, reducing the damage output of the heroes, and it's proving a little bit too difficult for the side to gank.
Yeah, with the tier 1 tower protection, you've got right now 12 armor on the hero, the Wave of Terror only taking just a little bit away there. It's actually surprisingly difficult to bring him down at this stage, and they thought they had a clear win, but just survived long enough that the DP gets the worst end of it. So it's going to be a big difference maker. Obviously, Fran, renowned for his DP, and DP renowned for her ability to control the early laning phase. Well, now it's kind of going to start slipping away as the Elder Dragon form is online, and the DK has a clear advantage.
And top lane, Rabbit, he finds himself a kill on his own after finding a 5-minute tower. So all things said and done, this is a great start for cdec. They're winning the lanes. They're getting the superior CS. I mean, this is, I don't think they could have hoped for a better start, especially Clink's, solo taking a tower and solo getting a kill before the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, they are looking really good right now, and this is before the Darkseer really gets online and involved. He's actually going to go for an Iron Shell play here. It looks like it's going to be Super that gets caught out, and Elder Titan just going to try to go for the TP after the Dragon Tail, but Glimpse going to disable that one.
And this is, at the moment, this is just cdec running all over the bottom lane. They're diving onto this slot. He's yet to hit level 6. He's so close as well. And with no pounce, he's going to go down also. A 4th kill for cdec. They are really stepping it up in a game as well that we talked about before. Looking at the scores and the stats, you'd see iG.V as the people coming in as the stronger side. But I guess this just goes to show how kind of volatile and how close the Chinese region can be. Because cdec are... They're taking iG.V to school at the moment.
I do feel like they're getting outplayed in a lot of ways. The biggest one would be the mid lane, really just underestimating the tankiness of the Dragonite, but just across the board, it seems like cdec have the better map movement. They're getting the Clinks involved. I still don't think that the game is anywhere near over. Just because it's 4-0, just because they have the tower advantage, we still have a long way to go here as iG.V have a really great defensive counterplay potential, but opening up here Garter onto Yuno, and they are going to be able to lock him in that kinetic field, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage at the very least. But I still think that there's plenty of comeback potential here for iG.V, but they are certainly off to a rocky start.
Yeah, it's just kind of eyes on the fact he says Slarky's still getting a decent amount of fun even though the pressure being put on, but of course Rabbit, who's continued to have this free lane up top, he's sailing ahead in CS 62 at the moment, 7.5 minutes in, and it'll be just very interesting to see what kind of itemization he does go for here.
Yeah, it seems like it's just going to be the Desert Rush after the Soul Ring Aquila. Get your mana sustainability up and then make your move towards negative armor. Yeah, he's not going to be going for the Dominator build that has seen some popularity in the West, but it definitely is, with that Blightstone, going to be that Dezo, and from there, probably just raw damage output. I think that's pretty much the ideal.
Oh, do you have a smoke up on Guardian? We'll see. Yeah, they're going to go for it here. CDC. Rabbit leading in. First time he's left the lane. Wants to try and get himself involved in the action. At the moment, on the Slark is in the jungle. Let's see if they get the wraparound from the high ground.
Roar in the mid.
Yeah, the wraparound, in fact, coming out from ig.V as they look to jump in onto the Disruptor. Gets the stun out onto the Venge. Super to hold them back. Refire onto Free. It's nice. They need more help. Super could be in trouble, but oh, the kick coming in for Guardian, catching out 3 of them. The silence as well. Super still falling low, but oh, they're going to be able to kill him. They will by the looks of it, but they've already lost 2. They're going to lose a 3rd as Rabbit turns up and starts to rip ig.V to shreds. Again, just a little bit of a misplay, and ig.V getting outplayed in the mid lane once again by cdec.
I really feel like ig.V are taking some fundamentals for granted here. I mean, they're getting all this setup, and there's no follow-through. There's no damage output. It's the DP can Spirit Siphon, and that's about it. They drop a Roar, and the Disruptor doesn't get a single hit against him until the Magic Missile follows. That means the Roar was pretty much useless. They're kind of grasping at straws. They're not following through with their initiations, and as such, you got all the setup and none of the kills. This is going to be now 1-7, favoring cdec dramatically.
This is early beginnings, but still, yeah. I mean, you look at the net worth difference. I mean, a 5k net worth lead before the 10-minute mark. That is certainly sizable indeed. And the fact that your Clinks is over 2k ahead of the slot. Let's see what they can do here down bottom. cdec coming around with the smoke. We've got to watch Guardian and Q. They've got two great setups. Oh, okay, going straight onto the Venge. There are 3 members of IG here. Dogfight's falling low. See if they're able to take him down. They will. They'll find the Venge, and the rest of ig.V just backing off sensibly as well. Top lane. You can see that Rabbit is finding more and more space on this Clinks, and Super as well. Someone else that's been able to keep up the farm, and he himself nearly 1.5k ahead of OP's Death Prophet. And the rest of cdec just continue to apply pressure on this bottom lane. They want to try and make a go. We'll see if they catch out Super here, hiding in the tree line, but Super silenced up all alone. There's going to be no backup for him. Rabbit's come down as well to join in the fun, and cdec finding themselves another freebie and a tower to boot as well. This Clinks is just getting richer and richer, nearly 3k ahead of the Slark now.
Yeah, a lot of momentum for him. The Desolator is just going to be able to cement that advantage of coming out very early here, and Super making the initiation on nb.y.
Again, it just doesn't stop. cdec absolutely tearing ig.V to shreds. We can see Dogfights making it go on to Q, but Q drops the Static Storm, and he might even just kill him. Venge incredibly low. Q needs a bit of backup, and we do see Super coming around from behind. He's going to be able to find this Vengeful Spirit, and in fact, he's looking for more. Oh, okay, the deny was there on that one. We'll see if he can finish this off. At the same time, Rabbit is killing off the Slark. Guardian's there to cancel OP's TP with a Boulder Smash. And again, cdec, 12 for 2. This is one of the biggest beatdowns I've seen so far in the qualifiers.
Absolutely, and it's really interesting because on paper, I would compare almost each player in each respective role of cdec to be extremely comparable to ig.V, with ig.V having slightly better team coordination. But cdec here are showing up to play. They are showing that they're not letting this 1-3 current scoreline in the tournament get to them. They're putting the 4 games prior in the past, and they're just going to town in this game here. I mean, they're already on Roshan going in with Super to take it up, and with the Dezo to just enable this. Rabbit really pushed the Clinks to his limits there, especially with that kill on the Slark. That's not a kill that you're going to see very often.
None at all. 5-0-2 on the Clinks. It's been a brilliant game, and he just seems to have found the perfect balance between staying in that lane, farming up, and heading around the map to get stuff done. And just like that, Roshan's going to go down. Nothing that ig.V could do to stop it. And next time around, you're going to have to kill that Clinks twice. He's already up to 1600 on top of the Deso. It's really quite ridiculous here at the moment, the lead that they've got.
Yeah. Fortunately for ig.V, the Roshan doesn't give nearly as much early experience as it used to, and Aegis is, for Clink's, not the biggest deal. It just means they have to have a different target priority. Usually going to be the Earth Spirit and the Disruptor earliest on, and try to kind of just get those freebies and hope that the fight doesn't unveil itself afterwards. Just get a couple picks. They don't really want a 5-on-5 at the moment. So Slark and Beastmaster are probably just going to try to coordinate for a fast fight and a small skirmish rather than playing into cdec's hands, which is the full 5-man.
There's Rabbit as well. He's coming up here. We'll see if he finds that in July. He knows he's around. He could have a shot at this. I mean, Injuly could go for the raw TP out if it looks a bit risky. We'll see what happens here. They've got backup coming through. Injuly. He's already caught out. Guardian sending up to the fight as well. And Rabbit, it's just, what, 4 hits to chunk down a Beastmaster at this stage of the game with the farm he's got. I mean, they need to shut down this Clinks. He really is getting out of control. And the question is, I don't know how they do it. I mean, I guess, well, they're yet to skill the silence on the Death Prophet. Maybe a stomp into a magic missile. But at the same time, the catch feels kind of lacking for this Clinks. Unless they get the roll. But even that, there's no Necro book. Beastmaster needs a +1 or +2 if he wants to have any chance of killing this Rabbit Clinks.
Absolutely. It comes down to really them just rethinking how they position themselves on the map. Right now it's looking like a pub stomp. People are getting caught out, stranded by themselves, and it's just disastrous for them. They really need to start using sentries to bait. They need to start grouping up, and while that will really hurt their economy, if they can just get 1 kill on the Clinks and get that kill streak ended, it'll make up for it tenfold.
Yeah, absolutely. With the lead that he's got and the net worth difference that they're fighting from behind ig.V, Clink's kill would mean the world. I'm just going to be interested to see what he buys next. Can he afford to just continue to go aggressive, or will he just go back for something like a BKB? But I guess BKB doesn't really do too much for him this game.
Yeah, there's a few merits to it.
He might be in trouble this time.
But he's still got that Aegis to fall back on.
And he got 2! Oh man, this game! This is such a good game for the Clinks. We were a little bit, in the drafts, it was like, okay, Clinks, what's it going to do? Well, Rabbit, he's showing us what it's going to do. Jeez. It's going to absolutely destroy ig.Vitality. This is one of the best Clinks performances I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be setting, not records necessarily, but it's going up there on the charts. Like, there's only one Clink. I've watched Dota for a long time. There's literally only one Clinks that I've seen more farm than this at 15 minutes. It's absolutely insane what he's got. I mean, the Desolator is actually putting this DP at -2 armor.
Yeah.
Like, she is fly paper. She's got the infused range off. She's like, that'll help me survive. No, Clinks doesn't care about that at all. There's nothing you can do but buy bracers at this point.
He's got 4K. Let's go Radiance. Let's go. I mean, what's he gonna buy?
2 Midases. Cement the advantage.
I want to see what he gets. What's he opting for? What's the item?
Obviously, a lot of people will look towards an item like Bloodthorn.
Yeah.
To really just
Bloodthorn. Okay.
And
what's it? Okay. He's played it safe. I mean, as we said, with the lead that he's got, you don't want to be dying on this Clinks because that could be the beginning of a turnaround. So yeah, I mean with BKB, then that's I don't know how to kill him. I mean raw maybe into the full out exorcism ghost chipping into him, but with the Elder Titan Orator, so there is still a chance of killing him, but at the same time it's gonna be so damn hard.
But like you mentioned, there's already a limited amount of control, so if he gets the BKB off, then
and he's not even done. Look, walks into the man. Top lane though, Q is in trouble, so they will lose the Disruptor. But CDC, they may just keep going on this push mid, and we'll see how ig.V do want to respond to this one, as it just does not seem to be stopping this pressure the CDC are putting in. And as we can see, with the Clinks is damaging the death, so easy tier 2 for the side.
So for those that are trying to really just understand the position that right now ig.V are in, what can they really do to counteract this, other than search for a mistake from Rabbit, search for an opponent to overstep, and to try to get money? When they do actually find some money, they have to put it into very defensive items. Ghost Scepters are a must, and Clinks can still go for Diffusal Blade. That still stacks with both Searing Arrows and Desolator now, so he can absolutely still go and purge off the Ghost. So, end of the day, they have options that can limit the Clinks' potential, but most of it comes down to just getting constant vision and staying together all the time, because otherwise you are going to get picked off. You're going to get right-clicked down so quickly. Items like Yule's, Ghosts, Blinks will help, but at the end of the day, it's got to be just good movement and good positioning if there's any chance to stop the bleeding.
Now let's see what happens down here. Look, Rabbit, he's looking for blood. They got a sentry down. They see the Slark. Well, they get the lockdown, they get the stun, but Dark Pact was there in time. So Slark's fine. CDC, they are aware of this action going on from ig.V down here, so they're not going to get caught out by it. And I guess at this point, I mean, CDC, they probably feel quite comfortable. I mean, they're not really in any rush to end this game, are they? I guess there's always the worry of the Slark getting too fat, but they don't need to go for any kind of YOLO plays, surely, CDC.
No, they don't have to really get impatient. They don't have to overextend or anything like that. They still can kind of go for their bread and butter stuff. The Yao can pick up a Blink Dagger, find some good initiation, go with the next Rosh cycle, I would say. If they just follow the Roshan, that'll lead them to victory. Just kind of go with the timing where you can reliably push in with the carry. Because the thing is, while Aegis, Clink isn't the best Aegis carrier in terms of combat, he's great for carrying it for the purpose of siege. If you're trying to defend your high ground, and there's a Clink sitting outside with an attack range of 640 and an Aegis and being farmed as all get out, like, what are you gonna do? You don't have, your Nether Swap is not long enough range to really punish it. Like, you pull him to the tier 3 tower, but then he's still, again, they got that Aegis to work with. So I really do feel like ig.V, once they're up against the Aegis crit, BKB, Dezo Clinks, they're gonna see their towers dropping, and they're not gonna be able to do anything to defend them.
And this is... I mean, the network craft, what is it? Yeah, 14k still. It's such a lead. Such a lead for CDC. What is the plan here for ig.V? CDC moving across into the jungle. They've already got the creep wave pushing around, and they'll almost just look to take a tier 2. And I suppose the question is, what ig.V do about this? And I guess at this point, if you're ig.V, your best hope is what? Waiting for the high ground defense? I mean, you just can't do anything out.
I mean, if there's any... I think you can rat a bit. You can push the top map. Their heroes aren't great for it, but like it's tactically an option where you want to try to get cdec to spread the map. You don't... If they're moving as 5, they're indestructible. But let's say 1 or 2 moves top that aren't the Clinks, then you can try to target them down. But right now, yeah, if you do a little bit of push, gets the Darkseer to rotate, and that's about it. And they're just going to keep checking Rosh, keep checking the clock, and wait for it to come online. Now, I want to call out real quick Garter for picking up all these sentry wards. A lot of people don't think about it, but not only is it great against the Slark, who's running around in Shadowblade, but it's also great for allowing the Clinks to continue to move, because ig.V's best play is to drop Obs and Sentry constantly.
And it's coming in. I mean, the stun onto one, In July's gone. The damage as well, forcing dogfights back. They got to run. Super's got a haster, and he's just forcing the side back.
But they just have so much map control. They're the ones putting observers and sentries everywhere. The Slark can't move at all. He just can't breathe at this point. He's getting suppressed so significantly, and the supports on ig.V can't counterplay the Clinks. They can't bait the Clinks because their sentry wards are getting dewarded. At this point, they have no vision. They have no light at the end of the tunnel. Super blinking in, trying to end the game right here.
And this is the thing as well. Their lineup. Sometimes we see a lineup get ahead, and it's like, well, they haven't got that good push. The CDC's got an amazing push. They really have. And what are you going to do to stop it? I mean, they throw out the air split. They throw out the ults. And CDC just walked it off tier 3 and back. Roshan's back up. They're going to head straight to the pit. What are you going to do to stop it, ig.V? They can't. They are going to attempt. They're smoking up and heading over.
It's going to take a lot of luck, and just finding one target that's kind of separated from the pack, essentially, if they're going to make anything happen here. But yeah, I'm a little surprised cdec even bothered to push the tier 3 before the Rosh, because the Rosh is so instrumental to the next step. But they have such an advantage, and right now it doesn't look like it's going to be punished. He just needs to find the perfect opening.
He's coming around. But again,
Carter's got a gem, by the way, so he has to be moving very, very carefully.
Looks like, CDC just avoiding that confrontation, and ig.V knowing that they can't go hunting too deep for a fight. I mean, CDC are around the pit. It's looking like they just want to get the intel, looking around before they head back in. This ward here, they know that they've already backed up. So, and we've seen how quickly CDC can take it, so no reason for them to hold back too much. Super's already waiting in the pit. They do really need, they need to get the Clinks over. Because with Rabbit, that's how they do it. At such insane speed. It's Greaves now in the Darkseer as well. I mean, 22 minutes in. If they get the Aegis, of course, as it looks to be, they've got every tool available to just go for that high ground push, trying to get a set of racks. And ig.Vitality is just going to have to hope for an insane insane fight if they want to have any chance of holding on to this game.
Yeah, I feel like this stage just guarantees them the mid lane. Like, those 2 racks are standing, but the second this rush falls, they might as well not be.
Yeah.
There's no way they fight into the Clinks with the second life here. Swap into past your tier 4s and a roar under it will get you 1 Clinks kill, and that might still not be enough. So it's a really tough spot. It's an impossible situation for ig.V. They're going to be doing that, spread the map like I was talking about. They're going to be putting some pressure on the top lane, but at the end of the day, they have to make sure that they don't get caught out either, because you're up against a disruptor.
Yeah.
If you tarry too long, then you're not going to be able to, there to defend your base, because you're glimpsed back to a position across the entire map.
There we go, ready to put the pressure on cdec. We'll see how much they are able to get away with the advantage that they're holding. And here we have it, Elder Dragon form from Super. He's ready to commit. Still waiting for the rest of his team to back him up. Rabbit heads over. Looks like they just want to make sure they've got map control over this area as well. So, harder and harder for ig.V to find to it. Going for what you mentioned, just a bit of pushing out the side lanes, trying to find as much as he can to catch up. He is doing a relatively good job. I mean, the Slark's keeping up with the DK, but still quite a gap between him and this Clink, who's now completed a Daedalus Rabbit. And here we have it, looking to go up, heading in. He's got to be careful that he doesn't get caught out by Guardian of Silence. And let's look at this damage.
Oh, going in under the tower with the
massive it's all over. It's actually all over. GG. I'm in.
Crap. They didn't even need the
This
Clinks.
was,
like, with that kind of initiation.
Vacuum wall, static storm.
And that's the first half of the draft. That's DK, the Darkseer, and the Disruptor all at once. But
that was, as you said coming in, I was ready for ig.V to style on cdec. But cdec just destroyed ig.V. ig.V, they were made to look a pool in there. cdec just outplayed them in every single possible way.
Yeah, every step was just a step backwards for ig.V. I mean, with the DP getting overextended in mid, then a little sideline pick off here, and then a really strong rotation from cdec to the bot lane that wasn't responded to well enough by ig.V. Like, I feel like they had the heroes, and they definitely have the players, but just looking at that game, they just got routed every single step. I feel like this is the kind of game where you look back at the replay and you're like, what did we do wrong? Well, this, and you just keep on going. Like,
you run out of paper.
Every 2 minutes, you can easily find something that they should have done differently, because this was a game of significant mistakes from ig.V and even greater of a performance from cdec. Really looking forward to seeing what they bring to the rest of the qualifiers, and if they can redeem themselves to try to find that 5th place.
Yeah, that was they're certainly on the way to start getting the momentum back from that game indeed. What a performance. And well, I guess that is it for this series. We've got a couple more series coming along on this channel. Do we know what the next series is, Blaze, off the top of our heads?
Not at the top of our heads.
We don't.
But it's going to be
more Chinese action.
Yeah.
More
Chinese. Some great Chinese teams, a little bit of vg Gaming, I believe, is going to be around the corner. So
sounds good.
We'll see, but that's going to be in a few minutes' time. We'll give them some time to get the lobbies up and all that. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for tuning in here to BTS6 for our coverage of the Chinese qualifier here. I myself, Blaze at BlazeCasting, and of course, Owen at OD Pixel. It's been fun.